Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Hi, how's it? Hello, everybody. This is Caitlin, your digital marketing educator here at Shaw Academy. I hope everybody is doing well after the weekend. Two words, guys, sum up what your weekend was like. Lolita, hi. Hi, Yaku. Hi, Geraldine. Hi, Kay, I think it is, instead of Ma. Hi, Colin. Hi, Jade and Matilda. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see so many of you guys joining us. I haven't scared anyone off yet, which is very, very, very good. Hope you're all doing very well. I had a great weekend myself as well. Thank you very much. I saw that movie Dunkirk, which was very, very emotional. But it was very, very good. And I hope you guys had a great one too. Okay, let's get started. We're going to be talking about Google pay-per-click advertising and SEO. Very, very exciting topic, guys. It's going to, and very, very helpful as well. So before we get started, as per usual, I'm going to give you a quick update, a quick reminder of that 12-month premium membership prize that is going to be announced in lesson 5, and you just have to attend live in order to stand a chance to win it. Very exciting indeed. Okay, and then of course you guys have been using the toolkit up until this point, so hopefully you know how beneficial it is and how useful all of those notes are. So I'm not going to go over that again. You do get those slides before the lesson, which is super handy. Okay, so last lesson recap. We looked at who your buyer is. We talked about profiling the customer as well. There was also that bonus content. Did everybody see it at the end of the last recording? Did you? And we had our course interaction and our Q&A. Really exciting stuff. And guys, today's lesson, we're going to be talking about pay-per-click. We're going to do some jargon busting. We're going to talk about the risks that are involved when you're running a pay-per-click ad campaign. Okay, we're going to look at keywords as well, Google AdWords, and SEO. Does anyone know what any of that means? Is it all terrifying? It's all good. I'm going to explain it all very nicely for you. And then we will have our summary and our Q&A. We're going to take a look at our definition of PPC advertising. Okay, we're going to get started. So, first things first, let's talk about pay-per-click advertising, okay? This is something that you're going to hear quite a bit about in the world of digital marketing. And it's definitely something that we need to take a bit of a look at, okay? So let's look at the definition here, okay? Pay-per-click advertising, or PPC, is the form of internet advertising where advertisers pay a website owner whenever their advert is clicked on. Okay, so you're basically running an ad with this, okay? And when someone clicks on the ad, they end up on your site. They land on the landing page that you have specified. So the definition here is pretty straightforward, right? And more specifically, you're going to be paying an agreed fee for that click, okay? That leads someone to your website. Hence, pay per click. It's pretty straightforward, right? Okay, so now advertising's come a really, really long way since its inception. Okay, take a look, for example, at this ad for the Encyclopedia Britannica on the right-hand side there that appeared in the May 1913. Okay, 100 years later, and we're now in a world where the idea of advertising only through print media is pretty much considered just as archaic as buying a multi-volume set of encyclopedias would be today, right? And basically today, online advertising is growing year on year, moment on moment, okay? And the most popular and most widespread form of online advertising is what we're talking about. So pay-per-click, okay, or PPC. It's the form of internet advertising where advertisers pay a fee whenever their ad is clicked on by an internet user. Okay, keep that in your mind. Simply put, guys, pay-per-click, PPC, is when you run an ad online that you only pay money for when someone clicks on that ad, okay, as opposed to a paper impression, okay, which is when people or paper melee, which is when people see your ad, okay, you pay per 1,000 people who have seen that ad. Pay-per-click is when it is clicked on, okay. Google then decides when to run that ad based on the keywords that you search for, or that people have searched for, and how much you pay is agreed on before the ad is run, okay, through a bidding system. in a nutshell, that is how it works. So I want you guys to tell me, are you familiar with PPC or Google Ads? Give me a yes or a no. Type it into your chat box if you've used it before, or at least if you're a little bit or in the least bit familiar with it. Awesome. Loads of yeses, some no's. That's totally fine, guys, because that's what we're here to learn. Amazing. I've heard of it, just a little. Yes, says this is the lesson I was looking forward to. Excellent. Okay, so let's have a look. I want to ask you this question before we get stuck in. Okay, so what do you think are some of the risks involved with pay-per-click? Because we also need to think about those risks. Okay, what are they? No, not sure, not sure. Cost, overspending, exactly, okay. Spam, high cost, cost again, no control of the clicks, hook logic. Wow, you guys are typing very fast. Unfamiliar with this, it's okay. Spam, okay, brilliant. Not really knowing what you're doing. Those are all definitely on the right path. Okay, you're doing very, very well, guys. Okay, so let's have a look at it in a little more detail here. Okay, and how it relates to our sales funnel. And we want to break it down a little bit, okay? So a little bit more anyway. So you've got your original or your simplified sales funnel. Okay, there it is. You know, you've got your awareness, you've got your interests, your consideration, intent, and purchase. Okay, so it's your standard sales funnel. They're the steps that buyers go through with the brand from the awareness stage to the purchase. Okay, but let's actually have a look here at how our sales funnel relates to pay-per-click. Okay, what do you guys think is going to be the biggest difference here with the funnel on the right that relates to the process of guiding leads through our sales funnel, through pay-per-click? What's one thing that jumps out? What jumps out to you? Okay, I've got cost, okay, click, okay. Okay, good answers, guys, but I think, pull it back, think of the beginning of the process. What jumps out at you? What is the big difference there? What is the big difference? Sean, amazing, exactly, okay, search, guys, so it's, okay, lots more people coming in with search now. Excellent, okay, so search is the big difference, okay, because that's where it all gets started. People are now using the internet to search for products and businesses that they're interested in. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're putting ourselves in a position to be found at the end of those searches. Okay, our customer is now searching for us. And this can be a massive advantage because all we need to do is position ourselves better. Okay, and in such a way that we will be found. Okay, we're going to start looking at how to do that in a little bit. Okay. First of all, in understanding all of this, we just need to go ahead and do a little bit of jargon busting here, okay, and keep things simple for ourselves. So we want to have a look at some acronyms that are used quite frequently, okay. So we're going to take a bit of time here just so you guys can understand exactly what I'm talking about. So we've already had a look at what PPC stands for, okay, our pay-per-click, and what that means, all right? But before we dive into a step-by-step setup of Google AdWords, let's take a look at a few common acronyms within the PPC world. Okay, so CPC here is your cost per click, okay? It is the amount you pay for a single click on your advert. That is the cost for us as advertisers, okay? Your CPM, okay? Cost per mille, that is the amount you pay for 1,000 impressions of your ad. I mentioned it earlier. You have your CPA, okay, which is your cost per acquisition. That is when you pay once someone has completed the full action on your website. Okay, so say someone, you put an ad out, you're charging or you're being charged a CPA. It's basically, you have your customer journey, and what you want, ideally, what you pay for at the end of the day is that person clicking on your ad, going to your website and buying a product or converting. Okay, that's when you pay, only when people have converted. Then you've got our click-through rate, okay, which is the number of clicks on your ad divided by the number of impressions. That is the percentage. Okay, click-through rate is the percentage. How many people clicked your ad versus how many saw it. Okay, Then your ROI is your return on investment. We've mentioned this a few times. It is what you get back for what you put in financially, okay? So your click-through rate is pretty important in Google deciding your quality score, okay? The score is going to rank your ad in position. And if a lot of people see your ad and they're clicking on it, then that's a really good thing. If you have a lot of people who are seeing your ad but not clicking on it, that's a pretty bad thing, okay? So don't worry about that too much. I'm going to talk about it at a later stage, but that's your click-through rates. Basically, then your return on investment, just to go back to that one, it is how much revenue you're getting or you're generating for a given campaign. Okay, we need to know, after all said and done, what our return on investment is. So guys, these slides are going to be in your toolkit, so don't worry too much about getting it all written down just then. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the risks. Okay, so on the right hand side here, I've got an image from a results page that's showing a few ads on Google. Okay, it is a little bit old, and I'll tell you why in a second. Those of you who are familiar with advertising would know exactly why this is old. Okay, have a look through those. I want you to find something for me, okay, on the right hand side here. This part, these ads, okay? I want someone to tell me what does not fit there, okay? These are all pay-per-click ads. So I put it's basically, what I did is I searched pay-per-click PPC, okay, in the search bar to get this image, and those are the ads that came back. So which one on the right-hand side doesn't fit into what we're looking for? What shouldn't be there? Yaku, you are 100%. Lou as well, and Danielle, excellent guys. There we go, perfect. Your local outdoor advertising, okay, because it has nothing to do with PPC. If I'm looking for PPC, this is information that is not relevant to me, okay? So what's happened here, to kind of break it down for you, is that the person that set that advert up they basically told Google that when someone searches for advertising, any type of advertising, show my advert to them, okay? But it's not clever, okay? It's not good, because now they're paying to show me an ad that has nothing to do with what I'm looking for, okay? So if you're setting up advertising here, it can be expensive. You've got to be careful, okay? You can end up wasting a lot of money by showing adverts to the wrong people. So you need to be really, really careful, okay? You need to keep up to date with changes that happen in the industry, okay? Because it does change frequently. Pay-per-click advertising costs money, okay? So of course there are going to be risks involved. It's very, very easy to set up an account as well, which I'm going to show you how to do very, very briefly here. But it's not easy to do it properly, okay? It's not as easy anyway, and to do it successfully. So you need to make sure that when you're setting it up, you do it the right way, okay? So that you're not spending money advertising to the wrong people. And that's what we're going to do, and we're going to start talking about, and we're going to show you how to do this, okay, and how to do it well, so that you can start to enjoy that return on investment and high conversion levels, okay, and start generating that revenue online. And you guys remember we spoke about WHCP in the first lesson, so it was covered last week, okay? We looked at who the customer was, or who the customer is, and now we're looking at the how part, how to get our customer, okay? So moving on, what are some of the risks and costs that are associated with pay-per-click advertising? Okay, there is a direct cost to doing PPC, okay? You're literally paying for this advertising space, which means that you can get pushed out by others, okay, by competitors who are looking for the same space. You can get into bidding wars, okay, which I can explain to you a little bit later. You basically want to avoid this at all costs, okay? So when I said earlier that you are bidding for a space against other people, you're bidding based on your keywords, okay? So who pays more? There are a lot of different things that factor into where you rank on a search page. And we talk about that in a little bit more depth a bit later. But one of those is the amount of money you put in, okay? It's only one element. There are huge amounts of different, the algorithm is highly complex, okay? So Don't get into bidding wars. Bidding wars are when you try to put more money into your campaign. You want to spend more so that you get the ranking over someone else. It ends up costing us a huge amount of money, okay? So you need to attack this from a standpoint where you're working within your budget and you're not spending more than you can afford to. It's about being smart, guys. And you need to, it's about making sure that you're going to get a return on your investment. It's not about winning. Okay, you might also have concerns about getting junk traffic. Okay, so like that example I just showed you with the outdoor advertising adverts. Okay, so if you don't know what you're doing, you might get traffic viewing your ads or coming to your site that is completely irrelevant to you. And you might also have, time management issues. So what this comes in closely and hand in hand with the bidding wars. Okay, don't spend all day being obsessed with checking your ads and your bids and all of that stuff. Okay, it's very, very easy to get stuck into that, but you want to make sure that you put the appropriate amount of time aside. Okay, you don't spend your entire day on it. You do want to keep your eye on things, but also don't waste time glued to your campaign when you need to be doing other things. So make sure that you use that time wisely. Okay, so moving along here, here's a little example for you. Okay, your CPA. We're going to talk about CPA. So we're going to take a look at that and see what it is that we're looking at. So remember that WHCP again, we are in the H part, okay? How to get that customer. So you can run a Google ad like we have, okay? So here on the screen in front of you, it says, register and start your course now. Okay, so we paid a fee to run this ad, and a customer would then go and click on the ad where they would register and then pay a monthly fee to do our courses. Okay, so there's a cost for us to generate that customer. Okay, and the cost is our cost per acquisition. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's the cost per actual customer gained. Okay, oops, let me pull that back. It's our cost per actual customer gained. Okay, so you need to know what it is that you stand to make or you stand to lose. Okay, or how much revenue you can generate from one customer so that you can then determine what you're able to spend, okay, in order to get each of these new customers. Because you do want to make sure that you're charging more than you're paying for each customer. That's how you stay profitable, right? Makes sense. Okay, and that leads us to our cost per lead then. Okay, so same thing. We run an ad offering a trial for free, okay, where the person's not yet paying. So they're not yet a customer, but they are rather a lead. Okay, but we're still paying to create that lead and paying to run that advert. So we, as the advertiser, we're looking at the cost per creating each one of those leads. So that's the difference there between our CPA, which is the cost per actual customer gained, and then there's the CPL, which is the cost per lead that we create. Okay, everybody with me? You guys all there? Excellent. Wonderful stuff. Okay, so now we want to talk about Google AdWords here. Has anyone used it before? Anybody? What do you think it is? What do you guys think it is? Loads of people saying no, some are 100%. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I have. No, I know how it works. Betty says. Awesome. Okay, well, that's okay. We'll have a bit more of a look into it. Okay, so here's a bit of a definition to start with. Okay, AdWords is an advertising service by Google for businesses wanting to display adverts on Google and its advertising network. Okay, on its display network. So I want to ask you guys here, we need to think about this. Okay, what should you consider when setting up an AdWords campaign? What should we consider here? Okay, so word bidding, Mohammed, keywords, Johandri, amazing. Kate, yes. Okay, wonderful, perfect keywords. Okay, we need to think about those. What's trending? Yes, that's a big one. The cost, absolutely, guys. The content you're using, headlines. Okay, cool. You guys, we're getting there. Okay, so like a lot of services designed by engineers and then rolled out to customers, it can be a little bit confusing and hard to get to grips with Google AdWords, okay? But once you get familiar with it and you practice with it a bit, it's incredibly it's very very easy to use basically, and we get into more detail on exactly how to use this on the ultimate program, but we're going to look at some basics here on it today as well. Okay, so on the screen here is the search engine results page. Okay, we see this as SERP. It's a SERP, search engine results page. Okay, so now this is something that we've seen in the changes of these results pages over the last year or so, is that this section on the right hand side is going away, okay? This extra section of advertising here is now gone. And we're left with only two sections here, okay? So, which is your paid for results, which is those top guys there. And then you've got your organic search results that come in below them, okay? So what this means is that there's less advertising space that shows on our results pages, okay? And this means that it's becoming really, really coveted ground. And, you know, there's less real estate, it means it's more expensive. You know, and so the less ads that are being shown, the more important it becomes to make sure that your ads are going to show up there, okay? That they're going to show up when people search for your business or search for something related to your business. And also the harder it's going to be to get your ads seen there as well. So guys, like a lot of these online programs that I do show you, I would encourage you to go onto Google AdWords and play around with it a bit so that you can actually get a bit of a feel of it for yourself, okay? So one of the key elements of Google AdWords, okay, is choosing relevant keywords, okay? So it's important to have a look at those keywords. And if you're thinking that it's going to take ages, don't worry, okay? Google's got a really, really cool tool. I know a couple of you mentioned it before there, called keywords, okay? It'll still be up to you to create and to maintain and to optimize your keywords, but it's a great start. So the first thing that you do, once you create your Gmail account for your business and you start setting up your ad campaigns, okay, is you go into the keyword planner, which is on the screen there in front of you. And you can simply just type in a few keywords that are going to be relevant to your ad to start doing some research. So you could say, for example, that you've got a hat store, okay? You can see there we've typed in hats. So once we enter that term, okay, that we're searching for, we're given the average search volume on that key term. So we can see over a specific period of time, okay, you can see what that search volume is. So the type of search volume that's associated with that key term. How many people, what I mean by search volume, how many people have searched for it over a certain period of time, okay? But you can actually also drill down a bit further than that and start to look at other key terms that are relevant to your keyword search. Okay, so this gives us, pardon me, alternate keywords that we can research, okay? So it also gives us the search volume, okay, of them. You can see average monthly searches there, okay? So over a certain month or however long the period is that you pick, okay, it'll tell you how long or what the search volume is there. And then it also shows you the suggested bid for how much you could be paying for using the keywords in your adverts. Okay, so Google's got a really, really powerful in-house tool, and this is only one of them that you can use when you're looking at setting up your keywords for your adverts. Okay. So here's another tool that you would have at your disposal, okay, which is SEMrush. Have a play with it. Okay, now it does have paid for elements, but I would definitely play around with the free stuff as well. Okay, so now when we're thinking about setting up our campaigns, there are a few types of keywords that we're going to need to keep in mind and to think about when we're setting up our campaigns. Okay, there are 4 broad types. Okay, so broad match, phrase match, exact match, and negative match keywords. Okay, so let's have a look at each of them quickly. So firstly, our broad match. Okay, so this is your broad match keyword. So what we're looking at here is quite broad ideas, okay, generalized. So it's like software or cake or tickets. You know, these are very, very broad and very general terms. Okay, so then we've got our phrase match, which is then it starts to get a little bit more specific when we use our keywords. So by using multiple keywords as a phrase, like free software, rainbow cake, or concert tickets, okay, it's more specific. Then, we also have exact keyword matches where you're only going to get results. So when people type in the exact keyword phrase. Okay, so for example, if you're selling AVG software only, you may just want to use AVG software as your exact match because you only want to show up in the results for specifically AVG software searches, okay? Or for your cookies, maybe it's oh, sorry, your Cheesecake Factory, okay? Or, geez, I've got food on the brain. Cupcakes or Pillsbury Funfetti, those would be the phrase matches you would need, the exact matches, okay? So, or Ticketmaster, okay, for concert tickets. Also then, very, very importantly, we've got negative keywords that you'd want to be aware of as well, okay? So your negative keywords are going to make sure that you do not show up for the results where certain words that you've selected are present, okay? So you want to exclude these from the searches that you show up in. So as an example, if you're selling software but you're not giving anything away for free, you don't want to be using the word, or you'd want to, make sure that people who are searching for free software won't be served your ad, okay? So that your ad is not wasted on them and you don't have to pay for people who aren't going to click on your ad. You don't want to spend money putting your ad in front of the people who are looking for something for free if you do not offer something for free. Does that make sense? Everybody with me there? Wonderful. Welcome back, Angelique. So, guys, now you need to put a bit of strategy in place, okay, for how you're going to be working with your keywords. And the first thing here, okay, that you need to do is get some sources for where we're going to be doing our keyword research, okay? You do need to research trends and look at the types of search volume and the traffic that certain keywords get that you can plan around those, okay? You've got your keyword planner in Google that you can use, and then you can also, there are other things like SEMrush, and there's another one called SpyFu, FU, okay? And there's loads of information on those in the toolkit there for you as well. Okay, you need to then think about what the goals for your business are. What are you trying to accomplish at this particular moment? Are you trying to create awareness and get branding or brand recognition? Or, are you starting to sell a product or a service? Are you looking to create some engagement? You need to start thinking about what you're trying to accomplish with each new campaign that you may be setting up and keep that in mind, okay? Then you're going to start collecting data for the keywords that are going to be based on your goals and on your industry. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to want to find out which keywords you think are going to be used by the people looking for your product and understand that type of traction or what kind of traction they're going to get and how much money they might be costing you to effectively use. Okay, so then you want to produce your content and your ads based on those goals, okay? And you want to look to align your keywords and your goals with your content and with your landing pages. So this is where you're really going to need to plan things out and make sure that you're using your time and your resources really effectively. Okay. Colin is asking, is there a set number of keyword searches that we should look for when researching? What is considered popular? The ideal number of keywords to use is between 10 and 20. It's what's suggested by Google AdWords. So I would only go for kind of that many. More than that is kind of over the top, personally. But it really depends. Okay. So now just for some really quick tips here for writing really good ads, okay, for your ad campaigns, for your adverts. First, always double check, double, triple, quadruple check your spelling and your grammar. You really need to make sure that you're writing everything out properly, okay? You lose credibility based on bad grammar and spelling, straight up, okay? Highlight your unique selling point. You need to highlight what's unique about your business, right? So Maybe you offer free shipping or have special discounts or whatever it is, okay? Whatever your unique selling points are, you want to include those as well. Guys, you want to make sure that you're looking at your ads with a critical eye as well, okay? We are biased when it's our baby, but if you're passionate about what you do, whatever it is, the people, yourself included, people who are looking at your ads are probably passionate about what you do too. So make sure that it comes through, okay? And make sure that you're communicating clearly and correctly. You also need to think about your customers' goals. Sorry, you do. But first, before we talk about that, we have to talk about your prices and promotions. Okay, so prices and promotions, everybody loves a bargain. Everyone loves promotions, and price is absolutely key online. Okay, so make sure that you include any special or phenomenal pricing that you've got. But then when I talk about your customer goals, okay, and what the outcomes are for clicking on your ad, you need to keep that in mind. Okay, you want to speak to their goals and to the outcomes. This is back to that concept of shared value. Okay, I mean, if I were trying to get people to join this course as an example, okay, I would make sure that the ad that I'm creating highlights the benefits of taking the course so that I make sure that my ad speaks to my customers' goals. Okay, so you need to do the same. Make sure that your advert speaks to your customers' goals. Okay, for this course, it would be learning the principles of digital marketing in 4 weeks. Okay. Then once they click on your ad, you need to make sure that they're being taken to the right place. Okay, if you're selling shoes as an example and you've got an ad for, a special promotional page on your website that sells discounted shoes as an example, make sure that the ads link to that specific page. Okay, you don't want people having to navigate around your website to find the right page because you've linked to a home page. Okay, so people are more often than not going to click out. Okay, and lastly, okay, you want to experiment and try different things out. You need to go out and try different ads to find out what's going to work well. You need to or you don't need to, but you can set up a lot of different ads for the same things and then make sure that you're using the most effective ones. Okay, that's A/B testing. So a lot of adverts and a lot of copy and content out there is going to say the same thing. So we need to stand out, okay? We need to stand out from the crowd. It is very, very easy to get obsessed about clicks, but that can be to the detriment of our customer, okay? We need to write the ads with our target audience in mind, to offer them value and, to ensure that their goal is spoken to. So let's have a look at a couple of examples here, okay? So let's say that you're looking to sell your house, okay? So obviously, in this case, you want to sell it fast, right? You wouldn't want to drag it out. I don't think anyone wants to sell their house slowly. So having a look at this ad, okay? This one at the top that's just highlighted. Sell your house fast with the most knowledgeable estate agent. With this ad, they're speaking very clearly to the customer goals, okay? So they've also got a call to action there. It's very clear, very concise, very clear goal, letting people know that they're going to be able to sell their house fast and you need to call them here to do so. Okay, they don't go into a lot of detail about the company. They're just letting you know the outcome of their services and what to do to get in touch with them, right? So the next one, this is a little bit more neutral. Okay, it's just your straightforward sell property in Europe. But then this one at the bottom has a really strong call, okay? Cash for overseas property, cash investors waiting. Right? If I was trying to get a quick sell, then this ad here would be pretty attractive to me, right? Because cash buyers are waiting for me to make an offer, or they're waiting for me to try to sell my house so that they can make an offer to me and give me money. So that last one has a really strong pull, okay? A really strong pull for someone if they were trying to sell their overseas property and fast. No dodgy dealings there or anything. It doesn't incite that. So when you're looking at setting up and optimizing your ads, there are a few tips here to help you with that, okay? So first things first, okay, you want to check what's trending so that you can keep on trend, okay? So use tools like Google Trends and start basing your ads around what is currently trending on the internet, okay? You also want to compare your different texts. Try different things and see what gets you the most traction from the people who are seeing your ads. So find out how to get the highest click-throughs, okay? In addition to that, you also want to try mixing up your bids, okay, to find out what's optimal for you. So refine your bids and your budgets. And you also want to include the extensions, okay, like call extensions, your location and additional links, which are going to help the viewers of your ads be directed to the right places. So I'll show you an example of those now on the right hand side. You can see in this image, okay, where you've got your phone extensions, okay. These are extensions. So it's extra pieces of information here that aren't traditionally seen in every ad, okay? So basically you can see the location there. You can see, I mean, your viewers are going to know where you're located, and you can also see the site link extensions there so that the viewer can easily get to the page within your site that's most applicable to them. So you can add these features onto your ads to get the most out of them and to optimize them, okay? So do that. Mariette, can you keep that question until the end, please, to the Q&A? So, guys, how's my ad going to perform? Okay, well, it's going to be determined by your quality score, okay? And there are a few things that go into determining this for us. The quality score is a score that Google gives you based on a number of factors around your ad, okay? And your quality score is going to be, it's going to determine where your ad is shown on the results pages. So it's going to decide who gets to numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4, or maybe not even shown on the page at all. Okay, so it's going to be determined by your click-through rate, your ads relevance. Okay, so here we're talking about the keyword relevance to what people are searching for. Okay, the quality of your landing page. So that's a determining factor. So is your landing page, you know, is it reflecting what the ad's talking about? Is it relevant? Then the format of your ad, so going back to what we were just looking at with the additional site links, okay, the more that you've got on the ad that can add value to the customer, the better it's going to impact your quality score, okay? They also take into account your account history, okay? So you want to make sure that you're always creating the most valuable ads that you can, okay? And then, guys, your ad rank or your ad position on the page is based on your cost per click, okay? So it takes into account, of course, you know, what you're bidding to have the ads placed, and then it also factors in your quality score. And that determines ultimately where on the page or what rank your ad is going to have. And obviously, the higher on the page your ad is shown, the better, you know, the better it's going to perform. So here is just a quick, you know, example for you. If someone typed in buy cars, for example, they're most likely going to click on one of the top appearing adverts, okay? So the top results are including some of the things that we spoke about, okay? With link extension and some of the attractive headlines there as well. Okay. So now the next thing we want to talk about very quickly, okay, is search engine optimization, okay? We're going to do a really high level overview of SEO and explain a bit of how it works. And mainly, okay, we want to get to understand what the difference between SEO and the paid for marketing is that we've just been looking at, okay? So SEO, search engine optimization, is the process of getting traffic from the free, organic, editorial, or natural search results on search engines. So what that means really is for you to be found through certain keywords and key phrases online, okay, which you were doing without paying for the advertising. So not appearing in the top 3 adverts showing up, but appearing in the organic search results that come below that. Okay, so first here I want to go over some important points to consider. On Google alone, there is over 1.1 trillion search queries a year, okay, 3 billion a day. It's pretty serious, okay? This is where our customers are searching for us. They're typing things into Google, searching for information, and we need to make sure that we're appearing in these searches. And this, as opposed to PPC and Google AdWords, okay, this is free marketing in terms of monetary cost, okay? What it takes is time and effort to provide value and relevance to your audience. You need to be answering the questions through your contents and your keywords, okay, that your audience might be asking in Google. Because so many people and so much information is available on Google, okay? Everybody's there looking for questions to be answered. We've got to optimize so that we can be found. And you really are doing this by thinking of your user. You need to think about what words and keywords people are typing into Google and, basing your website and content around those searches. The more relevance that your website has to people or to what they're looking for, the more of a chance you have at being found through those searches. Okay? Google's search algorithm focuses pretty heavily on the user experience. So they want to show results to users that are going to be the most relevant and valuable to what they're looking for. Okay, so what Google's doing through their search algorithm is that they are crawling through websites that are on the internet. They've got little crawlers. And they're indexing these sites, okay? So they're looking for keywords on your website that are relevant to what people are searching for. They save what they find and they can then use that information to match websites to search queries that people are entering into Google. Okay, and ultimately they're then ranking these websites and displaying them on the search engine results pages based on their relevance to the search terms. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're optimizing your site to be put in the best position to be found. Okay, another important thing really briefly when it comes to search engine optimization is that you also want other websites to link to your website. Okay, so you want websites that are relevant and have authority linking to your website too, because it'll help you with your SEO as well. So just a quick example here, okay, say this is a really big giant in your industry, okay? Very big, strong, authoritative websites in your industry. Google knows them and knows that they're good and that they're a good website with lots of authority and lots of information. So here you come, you're this cool little dude that's entering the industry and you haven't built up that authority yet. You're still new and fresh and you're a baby, okay? You're working up to this point. So as we said, you're going to start to be found through your ad campaigns, and if your site is optimized for SEO, you're going to be found there as well on the search pages. But what you also want to do is focus on getting links from other authoritative sites. Okay, so if this giant in the industry links to you, then Google is going to recognize that as a positive for your site. And this is all about backlinks. Okay, so we start seeing then once one big guy links to us, then loads of other ones do. And the more quality links you've got towards your site, the better it's going to be for you. Okay, so from looking at all of this, we know that our keywords are important. They allow you to be found on searches. Okay, the title of your page is important as well, so that'll help you to be found. Links, internal, external, and backlinks, they're all important and they carry weight. Okay, also when you're linking keywords, use your keywords in the actual link themselves, okay, because they're important as well. And your online reputation matters as well, okay? You need to become an authority, and having a good online reputation is going to help you in this regard. And when we're talking about linking and internal linking, this is just a little blog from moz.com, and you can see here, right, the title of their page and their link, okay? They've got the right keywords in there. They've got the right title, the 2016 e-commerce bench study, and they've got that link. And that links, and it's the keywords are embedded in there, and they're also within the text as well. Okay, domain authority, Mozcast, this comment here as well. So Google sees all of that and sends their crawlers out. Okay, so it's a high level overview. This is all going to aid you with your SEO. But I just want to make sure that we've all got some insight into just the background and how it works there as well. So you can see there, those little highlighted elements. It's important to link within. Okay, so you want to pick long-tail keywords, okay? We're not saying advertising as your keyword, but you're saying something more descriptive, like digital advertising consultant, okay? So that way people who are searching for you are going to find you, and it's going to decrease your competition. You also need to be unique in what you're offering, okay? Be specific and try and stand out. Google places huge emphasis on the user experience, so make sure the value of your content and that the quality of your content is very high. Plan, okay? Plan around your keywords. So use the keyword planner or tools like SEMrush. And you also want to be checking on your trends, okay? And what people are currently searching for. Pretty simple. So to put it all into a bit of context for us, this is just a slide from the Ultimate Digital Marketing Program where we cover our overall web strategy. Okay, so in the middle of the page here, we've got our websites and our landing pages, but more importantly, there's here at the top where you've got your search engine marketing, that's your display network, your PPC and your Google AdWords, your SEM, okay, search engine marketing, which is the paid aspect of getting traffic to your website. Then there's also SEO, okay, organic. But in order for it all to be effective, we also need to get links coming into our site from here, okay. And that's like affiliate websites and partners or PR and news releases. Social media as well also plays a big part. Google is accounting more and more for those social media, the influence that social media has and the importance that it plays, okay? And we do need to have social media presence to create engagement with potential customers as well. And basically, that is why we're doing all of this, okay? It's to get our desired outcomes from our audience, this part here, okay? To convert sales and create customers. Alrighty, everybody. I am wrapping this up. We had a look at PPC, jargon busting, and the risks. We had a look at keywords and Google AdWords and SEO. How to optimize your website. So, guys, keep up the hard work, keep attending all the lessons live, and you're going to benefit the most. We are here to answer anything that you might be able to ask, okay? So our next session is affiliate marketing. We're going to do an overview. We're going to talk about optimizing our partnerships. We're going to talk about all about affiliates, okay? And how we've done the best we can. We've excelled with the implementation of affiliates and partnerships. So guys, attend everything live and your knowledge is going to grow, okay? And don't forget about that 12-month membership prize in lesson 5. Alrighty, okay, so guys, give me 2 minutes. I'm going to have a real quick sip of water and then I will be here to answer any questions you might have. So do type them into that chat box and we will get stuck in. Okay, so we are back in the game. Okay, do people in other countries, Yaku, prefer Googling in their own languages over English, i.e. people searching in French in France instead of in English? If so, does that mean we should translate all of our content if we target other international countries with different national languages? Yaku, not at all. I don't know if Google's got, I don't know if you've seen it, Google Translate. Okay, so basically you can automatically have your pages translated. It does allow that. Like, I don't know if you've ever been onto a foreign site and just kind of clicked translate. People do Google in their own languages. I wouldn't see why or how someone who spoke French but not English would be able to Google anything in a different language. So no, you can there are loads of different languages available, and basically you don't have to translate your content. Google kind of does it for people itself. Mark asked, what's the best use of PPC you've seen? Oh my goodness. I mean, PPC is just a measurement, okay? So it really is to do with that I suppose would be more so directed towards what's the best ad campaign I've seen. And I've seen a lot of ad campaigns, but I'll have a think about that, Mark, definitely. It kind of caught me off guard there. Let's see, Ramar, what is the success rate of SEO in digital marketing? Ramar, I am not sure what are you looking for statistics, but SEO is absolutely vital. Okay, it's absolutely vital. I mean, digital marketing cannot be accounted for without mentioning SEO. Okay, search engine optimization is imperative. Think about how you're found, or how you find products that you want to purchase or you want to read about, or you use search engines, you use Google, right? SEO makes huge differences to people's or to websites standing. You know, it's what gives websites relevance. It's what makes people popular. It's what there's I mean, it's such a broad question. I don't think you could have digital marketing without your search engines, really. Maybe that's just me though. um Success rate. More questions. Is SEO better for the generic advertising, PPC for specific advertising? Not at all. Well, SEO isn't advertising at all. SEO is your optimization so that your content, your website shows up higher up on the rankings. So PPC is a measurement used in advertising, guys. If it's been confusing, please do send us an email because I think the questions are kind of giving us an indication that it might have been a bit confusing for everyone. Trevor, no, sorry, Osman. I am a digital marketer myself. I've got a background in it. Um, let's have a look. More questions. Can I change the search words every so often in order to create a campaign? Maria, yes, absolutely you can. Where are our questions? Adriana asked, do you have to pay per keyword or is it a certain amount included? So the use of a certain keyword in your campaign, you need to, it depends. You know, you have a list of keywords that you want to use in your campaign. You will be charged according to it. It's not per keyword per se, but it's almost more so there's a lot of varying factors, okay? If you send me an email, Adriana, I'll give you a ring and we can talk through that a bit more. Karen says, can you show the last slide again? I thought she said last night there. This one. Is this the one you're asking about, Karen? So this is what we talk about on the Ultimate course. Okay, I'm waiting for Karen's response. Victoria asked, are there other useful search engines? So Google accounts for over 80% of everybody's of global search results. Okay, so they're a monster, but you can use Bing and Yahoo. Those are kind of the follow-ups. I think it's important to have presence across the board, but no one is going to shoot you if you don't have it on, if you're not running campaigns on the other two as well. Okay. Maidatsu is saying me to send the web strategy drawing to email. This is available in your slides, so you can download the slides from your student area. Okay, so Irina asked, do we need to do any homework? No, you do not. Although I'm always super happy if you do your own research and look into stuff, I'm really happy to get back to you and have a chat about it. Like if you find other campaigns and you want to do something similar, we can have a look at it together. No problem with that. Loads of questions coming in. How does the negative keyword work? Can you give an example? Okay, so let's go back to that slide quickly, okay? Let's have a look at the negative keywords. Yeah, okay, so negative keywords are the words that you do not want to show up in your search results, okay? So if you want to sell, I don't know, like we were saying, okay, say you sell software, computer software, but it's not free. You do not have a free trial. You'll have free crossed out, okay, as a option. You'll have it as a negative keyword, so it doesn't show up. People who are searching for free will not get your results. Katazina, assignment 2 will be available at the end of the week for you to complete. Kaliso is saying, if your bidding wasn't successful, do you need to stop your campaign? There's no, not necessarily. You can just bid on a different keyword, okay? Don't get into bidding wars, don't struggle. You should draw up a list of keywords that you want to use. And if one doesn't work, that's fine. There are 100 different ways to say the same thing, you know? So honestly, I mean, this is coming from a a copywriter. So there really, really is. There's loads that you can do. So don't end your campaign just because you can't get one keyword or that it's too expensive. Um, Mohammed asks, what are cookies? I often see them on my mobile phone when browsing. People collect cookies. Okay, so websites, when you go onto a website, this is all to do with remarketing and people collecting big data. Okay, so when you go onto a website and you see there's a terms and agreements notification that comes up and it says um, we use cookies on the site. You can accept and carry on using the site or decline, and it doesn't track you. So basically, when you accept, you're allowing them to take an imprint of the information of your IP, that sort of thing. There's certain information that it collects from you clicking OK. They're allowed to almost, do you know what it is? They're allowed to put a code. Yeah, there's a code shared basically, and that website can then track where you are going elsewhere so that they can advertise to you. Okay, they track your behavior. Does that make sense? Okay, guys, so that is us for the evening. I'm just seeing the questions coming in. There are a few more, but it's all good. Siobhan is asking, must we pay for lessons 4, 5, and 6? No, you do not pay for any of the lessons at all. They are all free of charge, okay? Guys, thank you so much for this evening. I've really enjoyed myself. I hope you have too. I hope you have a wonderful night. It'll be, I can't wait to see you for the next lesson. If you have any questions in the meantime, let me just take you back to that slide. Type in digital.marketing at shoreacademy.com. I'm more than happy to give you a call. Let's see what else, who else has said what. Alvin asked, do you need to consider Bing? I mean, Alvin, you can, most definitely. It really, again, comes down to where your audience is. I don't know. I think Google, if you're going to try and start off with this, if you haven't done any of this before, what I would do is stick to the winners. So it's your big companies. Like Google accounts for 80% of internet search, um, or any internet search done by users. Okay, so while you can use Bing, you're going to be focusing a lot of attention on a platform that doesn't reach everybody. It's a similar thing to using Facebook or Snapchat. Use the one that more people are on to begin with, and then you can diversify. All right, guys, that is us for this evening. If you have any questions that have not been answered, do send them in to us again here at digital.marketing at shoreacademy.com. It has been an absolute pleasure. I hope it's made a lot of sense to you and that you got a lot out of it. Guys, I will see you at shoreacademy.com or digital.marketing. Really enjoyed it, guys. I hope you did too. Again, questions, send them on. And I will see you later this week.